to the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Bonjour! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dark Matter After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. I have nothing else to add in French. I'm joined by my lovely panel. Natalee's trying to figure out the time warp.
I know how to do the time warp. You just can't do it sitting down.
Oh, you can.
Oh, okay.
Show us after the show.
After the show.
Now you've just made a challenge.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Natalee Dyer. You can find me at Natalee Dyer, Natalee on all social media platforms.
Yay, Andrew Mena.
Omelette du fromage. That's the only thing I know how to say. And my name is Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena. And if you like Instagram, the Andrew Mena is the Andrew Mena I am.
And I'm Tauri Miller.
Ooh.
You can find me at StoryJ. It's Tauri.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like a Spanish Frenchman. It's beautiful. It's very sultry and rugged.
Thank you.
Okay.
We are talking about Dark Matter, Season 3, Episode 4, All the Time in the World. Sadly, we don't have all the time in the world, so we have to get through this.
Fair.
I want to start real quick with Rio, because he made a quick appearance at the end. So at the end, Rio assumes that Ash is dead, which we'll talk about because I have theories. And he's talking to somebody. Anyone thoughts on who he's talking to? Anyone?
I mean, I don't want him to be talking to Misaki. That's
no,
my
he's
bottom.
talking to the person with
Right.
his breathing.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
clue.
got to be someone we haven't met yet. Or someone from, very first season. Like, one of the Oracle people that are all basically dead now.
Nyx's Oracle people?
Yeah.
So my thought was, if it's going to be someone we met, then it's the person that was in Dr. Will Wheaton's place. The reason Dr. Will Wheaton had built Rebecca, was that Portia's name?
Yes.
Tu's name, back when she was
Yes, Portia.
But
No,
before that
it
she was
was-
Right.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
She has a lot of names.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But I think it may have been that person that Dr. Will Wheaton was working with. But other than that, I think this is someone we haven't met. And I went, okay, great.
What if it's Jace Corso?
Yes. Jace Corso had another face.
Yeah, just an
Yes.
alternate,
But he
or
changed
just
his whole
alternate
sex.
universed himself and just
Yeah.
jumped in.
So you assumed that it was a female.
Yes, it was long hair. I think they were boobs.
So I did not notice boobs, but I did notice long hair. Therefore, I mean, and then again, neither of those are indicators specifically.
I mean, that's
true.
where my assumption comes from.
From boobs?
Yes.
And the hair.
And the hair. Hair and boobs equals
Primarily
female.
the hair, though, right?
Those are the two things that you...
Maybe.
Maybe.
Then again, this is the future, and maybe this is a non-gendered person.
That's
Totally.
true.
Very true.
This could be a robot also.
Yeah, also true.
Yeah.
A robot that needs a breathing tube.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those robot breathing tubes.
Yeah.
Sure.
You gotta,
All right.
you gotta be jacked into the breathing matrix.
Well, so that's Rio. Let's move on.
Okay. Yeah, we could conjecture a
The
lot about
most
that.
of the episode was Three's Groundhog Day, as I'm calling it. We find out that he's in a temporal loop, and it's this device, which Malozzi posted pictures of this device months ago, and was like, haha, this is a thing. And everyone's like, what is it? And he's like, it's a thing.
You'll see.
Malozzi.
I love that there was a clock on it. There's a clock on the time device. Because of course there is. Even though this is definitely the future, and I've never seen an analog clock anywhere in this show before. Does that technology still exist? Is this scientist the only one who's like, analog clocks, it's the key to time travel? I'm so curious.
I think the idea is that because it's no longer in use, people go, I don't know how to solve this. I don't know, which
Yeah.
hand do I move, the little one or the big one?
I like that.
Right?
Just
I like
creates
that.
an entire huge long time loop.
I bring this up because we had that moment where he's like, I wrote it down, and then it was on his pad.
Yeah.
So there's no pencil and paper on this ship. It does not
Even
exist.
if you wrote it on
Right.
pencil, with pencil and paper, it still would have disappeared.
Yeah,
because you
but
would have never written it.
it doesn't even occur to him, right?
Right.
So,
He wrote it down
true.
on an iPad.
yeah, exactly.
The
So
fourth
I just love the
generation
analog
iPad.
clock. I just want more
Only the
steampunk.
fourth.
Yeah, I think
Only
that's
the
when it
fourth.
ends.
That's when
Yeah.
it stops, yeah.
I don't even know what gen we're on.
Guys, I mean, clock restorers really love the interface of the old-timey analog clock.
Like Monroe from Grimm.
Of course.
Totally.
So if you're gonna make a time, especially if you're super obsessed with time, you're gonna make it in an old cuckoo clock style. It almost looked like a castle clock with a little face.
If there's a little cuckoo in there with the Raza that just goes beep boop, and then they like go back in time or something, that's the new series.
You know what's funny is
Why didn't they show that?
I was looking at it being like, oh, it's like a jukebox. It's like a jukebox with a clock on it instead of music. You know, because that's what people want.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
To me, it looked like the Green Lantern, but it was just with a clock on it.
Okay.
Yep.
This episode was full. Speaking of Green Lantern, this episode was full of sci-fi references from everywhere. What does that look? Are you not as excited as I was?
No, sorry, that was me being like, yeah, girl.
It was.
There was a Doctor Who one that I didn't get, but acknowledged that it was probably a
Which-
Doctor Who one. Yeah.
Alonzi.
I don't see.
I don't
Oh, that's it. Great.
Yes.
Yeah. He was
There it
like,
was.
what? And I was like, that's probably not Doctor Who. That's definitely not Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard it went, uh-huh. And then he went, what does that mean? I went, how do you not know? I don't see. Okay. Yes, so we're in our temporal loop. We have the device that was stolen from Tabor's closet that was stolen from a scientist.
Yes. Dr. Alfonso. His time loopy thing.
Yes. But we also had a very quick, no one talked about, 3 was going through Adrian's stuff.
Yeah.
It was like a mention. Are we not gonna? We're not gonna talk about the fact that 3 was digging through his stuff. Like, what's going on there?
I mean, this is also like we are to assume that he's been doing the time loop already. So he's not just going through his stuff normally. He's going through his stuff.
He said that the reason the time loop started after he had touched it because he found it in
no, you're right.
Adrian's
You're right.
closet.
Oh, I didn't put
So
that together.
we also established that this is the day after Adrian joined he's only been there for a day. So
Yeah.
Adrian joins it and joins the Raza, and then 3 goes looking through his stuff.
I mean, but is that surprising? Like,
It's not surprising. I want to know if it was sanctioned by 2. I want to know what he was looking for. I feel like it's bigger than just a line drop.
Well, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say later. He says like, "You're the only one on the ship that I could like take in a fire. I could like beat up no problem, or who can't knock me out, right?" Which was mentioned a couple times. But then like, so of course he's gonna look through his stuff because who cares? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, it needs to be noted that it was said, I believe, 3 times in the episode that 5 is tougher than Adrian.
Yes.
3 times.
Greater than
True,
time.
though.
Oh, it's totally
Yeah.
true.
Well, we know.
And everybody looks incredulous whenever Adrian's like, but what about her? They're always like,
Like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
like,
Have you
I'm
seen
sorry,
him?
What?
Yeah.
Like,
His sensible pumps line got me though. He's so adorable.
Yeah, so
They were sensible pumps, so it's not entirely
our
true.
secrets that we discover is that Trina is the name of Solara's first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And that Adrian escaped in drag.
Yeah.
yep.
Those are our secrets, everyone.
He's only a little ashamed of it.
I don't know.
He doesn't seem that ashamed at all, honestly.
Yeah, he was like,
He's just like, they were sensible pumps.
like, please get your facts
Yeah,
right.
come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Which makes me laugh because the facts were what he had told him.
Yeah.
So he had told him that they were heels.
Or
Though,
And then he was-
I was gonna say Solara could have like, because she was like, I was there. That's what happened.
Right.
Okay.
She's like, he was wearing heels.
I
What if they
imagine-
told each other? Oh, sorry.
I just imagine that he first said one thing, and then as it came out, was like, I meant this. And then I feel like if he said it a third time, it would be something else.
I like to imagine that
true.
Solara told his secret, and he told Solara's secret. Well, she kissed a girl, and her name was this, and her brother was in love. So, yeah, now we're even. And then she punched him.
Except for, does he know that much about Solara?
That's a great question too.
I mean, he didn't read a resume.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't think he would know that.
He does. Yeah, he never read a resume.
I mean, there's also the chance that, like, guys, we know that 3 doesn't have the best memory.
That's so
So
true.
he's like, they were girl shoes.
Girl shirts.
Heels, who knows? Whatever.
Slingbacks, I don't know. The problem with this ship was the, okay, hold on. The particle accelerator antimatter transducer feed.
And he couldn't remember that.
I had to write it down after watching it 3 times. Luckily, mine didn't disappear. We finally got our 3 and androids singing. They sang. A lot of people kept asking. The song is called Dominique. If you look it up on YouTube, it's Singing Nuns.
Yes.
It was
It's
very
something.
cute.
Yeah.
I liked Android's dance.
Her singing is so beautiful, and if you remember on Lost Girl, she also sang in French. So like it was a nice callback to another sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really fun little number.
Yes, technically it's fantasy.
Technically
I
it's
meant
fantasy.
Sci-Fi the network.
Yeah.
I meant Sci-Fi the network.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Particulars.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So we have the 3-5 heart-to-hearts.
Yes.
Yes.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
And the solution was that
Be
seeing
real.
you upset makes me upset, which makes me wish I could say something to make you feel better.
Yeah.
And then that made
What
her
do you
feel
mean?
better.
Oh, okay.
That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Especially, I like that, all things complete come in threes. And I like that we got the first 2 attempts, which were him essentially trying to say what he thought was the right thing to say. And then eventually he said the right thing by not saying anything, just acknowledging that he cared about her.
I think he
Yeah.
also
Which was
took
sweet.
like that what he learned in that situation to Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because
think
he was
so.
having a similar issue with her, and then
Before we get to Sarah,
Yeah,
I have some fun facts and some photos. So as many of you know, or just the panel, I got a chance to visit the set, and in the scene where we have the coffee, as we noticed, space coffee, which looked beautiful. I got a picture. Picture 1, please. Thank you. So picture 1 is the stand where the coffee was, and I don't know if you can see it, but there are little spouts.
No, I see lightsabers. I don't see anything
Okay,
else.
so under the lightsabers, on the sides of there it is, little spouties
Yeah.
on both sides.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now if we could go to picture 2, behind this wall is actually a tube that connects to real coffee.
What?
So they have real coffee coming out of
my
those
God.
spouts
That's
on
so
the
cool.
set. Yeah, so that was a fun thing I learned when I
Good
was on
job,
set.
guys. Way to have real
what a
coffee.
cool fact.
The other really cool thing
Not
that
just
I
dyed
learned. Thank
water.
you for the photos. The other really cool thing that I learned.
They just dye water. It's just we can't afford that coffee money. This is water. This is acting. Sorry, that's really funny.
You think they make brown water?
They just
Gross.
make brown water. They make you put white water in it.
You're
This is
ridiculous.
a really funny idea.
Okay. So the other thing is that the mess hall where they eat, that room is also, I believe, Rio's sword room. So when we saw him training last season, which I am then leaping to this conclusion that it is also Solara's
Training room.
sparring room. They would use the same room.
Yeah.
Same set.
Yeah. Fun
Interesting.
facts.
Yeah,
Am I
those are
being
awesome.
corrected about my fun facts?
I have a
What?
quick
No.
question.
Okay, great. Yes?
If that is Solara's room, are those Solara's weapons?
No, so I think that it's 2 rooms in the show, 1 set. It's also the mess.
Okay.
Right.
But no. My question was the weapons.
Oh, the weapons? No, I
that
think those are
Adrian was
still-
playing with.
I think those are
Whose
still
those?
Rio's.
Those
Yeah,
are
that's
Rio's.
what I
Okay.
thought, too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he left. He didn't take all this stuff.
Right.
There was,
That's why he's
He
sending
came back for
assassins
the-
to
yeah.
get him back.
That was my question. Is while Masaki was doing horrible things to Nyx, was he just in there with the cardboard box, just loading up his
No,
room?
he was trying to figure out how to get the blink drive out because he doesn't know science.
Right.
That's fair too.
He's like, do I punch it? Can I kick it out of its hole?
Do I use a sword? Yeah. So let's talk about Sarah.
Okay.
So, 3, when she calls him Marcus, I went, who is she talking to? So 3 goes to visit her a few times, and I assumed that because she's not in the same world they're in,
Yeah.
that she was not part of the time loop.
Me too.
But we were quickly corrected.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So he got to visit her a few times, and she went, I didn't know if you'd come.
When?
fair-
slash
When?
If.
It
That was
affects
heartbreaking.
Android.
Yeah.
It affected Android, so it was affecting computers
Yeah.
as well.
Still.
It was all
Yeah.
the
But
time.
I
know.
too had the moment of like,
Right.
is she gonna know that he's been coming back?
Yeah.
So-
Right, because also it did affect Ash, and we'll get to Ash in a second.
Oh, dude, Ash.
Dudash? So,
Dash.
so Sarah's stuck in the time loop. We have this great, when he finally figures out how to talk to her, and then they touch, and he's like, you feel real. And then
They do it.
I assume that
Oh.
that's where that was
They
going.
absolutely
definitely.
have cyber sex.
Oh, I called it psychic boning.
Psychic boning. Psychic boning. That's way
Ooh.
better.
Yeah.
Cyber sex is already a thing, but it's so yesterday.
Yeah, it's not futuristic enough.
Psychic boning.
Super analog.
Welcome to
Psychic-
Sci-Fi Channel.
Psychic boning is also a concept in Legion,
Oh.
another sci-fi genre show.
Yes. Thank you.
That
Is
was
it on the
legitimately
channel of
it.
Sci-Fi?
It is not. It's on a
Oh,
different
not.
channel.
But just in the genre.
It is in
Yeah.
the genre.
Okay.
There is an after show here on AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my gosh, who's on that?
Me.
Oh.
Oh.
Also,
don't say.
other people.
So some other people.
Yeah. Okay, before we talk about Ash, I want to take a moment to thank our fans. Thank you so much for joining us. This episode was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Oh my goodness. I loved it. I love talking about it with all of you. We asked you to do a very simple thing for us because we can't keep doing the show without you. So make sure that you've subscribed on YouTube so you don't miss an episode. Also subscribe on iTunes. And if you leave us a comment, a rating, and a review, we'll read it live on the air. Tauri will do his sexy voice. Yeah, but before he does that, I want to remind you that a 5-star rating means you like us. A 4-star rating means you don't. And the other stars are still broken. So
Yes.
don't touch them. But if you do a 4-star rating, I expect some sort of explanation, because that's just rude. And if you do a 5-star rating, yay! Tell us what you love. Thanks,
I can
guys.
tell you what people love.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, we have a 5-star rating.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like psychic boning.
Oh, man.
Get your minds ready for some grade A 5-star bonus.
Oh, this feels so real.
Young Cato says, great podcast, 5 stars. The hosts provide smart insight and hilarious fun. That's it.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Wait.
I feel so unsatisfied.
Was the that's it you or what?
They wrote, that's it. They write that at the end of every
all
review.
there is.
That's what periods mean to me. At the end of every sentence, you just read, that's it.
You vocalize every period as, that's it.
Oh, I think that is all.
Too long.
No?
It's
Okay.
very professional
TLDR.
sounding, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to make a Devil Wears Prada reference.
It was
Oh,
good.
man.
It was not sci-fi genre or network. Okay, let's talk about
These guys
Ash.
wouldn't
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So he phases.
Okay, so Ash, yeah, he phases.
Yeah.
Apparently, various corporations are researching this technology, and as the android is aware of the news, she has not heard of anyone claiming they found it.
Yeah.
You have
I
something to
mean,
say?
I have a question. I have a
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, to pose to you guys potentially, but maybe that was answered within there. So
It was a ready.
so
your pen
ready.
was ready.
So Ash, he phases out of the holding containment cell.
Yeah.
And in his underwear, great. He's very capable. They are intimating.
we even talked about him in his underwear yet. Go on.
Oh, no, yeah, we will. But they intimate that it's a device that he's using. It's some sort of technology that he's using to phase.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he basically says, I don't. He says, like, I don't need to something.
So
and then he
I
phases.
disagree with you.
I haven't even put forth anything yet.
Statement.
I don't believe that it's that he does. I think it's in him.
Right. My
me
question
too.
was going to be, do you think it's innate, or do you think it's something that he's been genetically engineered to be, or is he an android with an upgrade, or not an android, but like a
Yeah.
person with
Or
an
does
upgrade?
he just simply have like a microchip
Right.
in his
Yeah.
arm
A
embedded,
phase
which is
with
what
band.
I
Yeah, he's got his phase band
like
on.
like a puppy.
Right.
I think it's a chip.
Okay.
I think so too.
I think it's scarier if it's innate. If it's like if he's born of something and there are more of him somewhere, like in the same way that if there are more Porsches somewhere, that would
Yeah,
be a
but he had to
bad
touch his
deal.
arm every time.
Also,
That's true.
though Porsche was created,
Mm-hmm.
so he would have to be some kind of like technological thing. But I kind of agree with them that it's basically like an enhancement. So
Yeah.
you could equate him to being like a cyborg if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
wanted to.
If you wanted to.
I mean, he's an assassin, so he's like gonna get it whatever
yeah.
leg up he can. But I was just curious
It's
if he's like
on
a
Killjoys.
werewolf.
There's someone who has a gun for an arm, and I think it's similar to that you can like go and get illegal tech added to your body.
I was
Right.
just curious if it was gonna be a phasing werewolf. If that was the werewolf I'm gonna get, it's like a phase wolf.
I see.
Well,
Yeah.
Mr.
Maybe.
Goku Jr. 2012 says he's Danny Phantom.
You gotta catch them all when you're Danny Phantom, and he's trying to catch the whole Raza crew. So you know what? You're right. Points for you.
Tari?
Yes. I just had like a really my nerd heart dropped when because you could combine a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
So Danny Phantom
Please.
is a Nickelodeon show.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
No, I don't.
There's a lyric of the show.
Keep
You gotta
going.
catch them all because he's Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
That's the end of the theme
I'm
song.
Yes.
Please give us
Whoa.
context.
What did I get wrong?
Context.
Some of us are confused.
Yeah.
Danny Phantom is a Nickelodeon show starring a guy who turns into a ghost so he can become transparent. He catches the Phantom. He catches ghosts. But yes.
His
Okay.
parents,
That's it.
his
There you
parents
go.
are scientists who are trying to like get to the other like ghost
Side.
world, and he accidentally went in when shit blew up, and then he became a phasing ghost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now
Thanks,
he's a
everybody.
bounty hunter in
Oh.
dark matter.
Okay.
Also, Sarah Brock brings up that she loves the Star Wars reference for Ash, which was pretty dope.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to, well, first, because I want to talk about the Han Solo. The what?
Han's Solo, you mean?
No, they're just making fun of me.
Yeah.
Ignore them.
Yeah, what's his
Natalee,
name?
what's
They're
his
being
name?
no. I know what his name is. I just write things too fast, okay? And then I don't correct my shit.
Her
I'm
notes?
pilot in the Star Wars. My name is Han Solo.
Just so her notes. That's what her notes say. Okay, so before we get to the Han Solo news, so Ash remembers the time loop. We can assume because Adrian hit him in the head with it.
With the device, yeah.
So now it's if you touch the box. So then, had Android not solved the problem, she would have then remembered.
Yes.
Which at that point would have made me go, everybody touch it. Now we have like we've
Right.
we've fixed the first problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did we think? I didn't think that they were gonna like believe Adrian. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like it was like now you have the two jokesters
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
teaming up. I was like, here we go again. We're gonna have to
Him
team
adding
them
to
up.
the story almost like makes it less
Less
believable.
believable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember.
No,
No.
I was like, oh, frick.
Yeah.
So once Ash is taken prisoner, he is undressed for no reason whatsoever.
Well,
What do you mean
'cause
no
they
reason?
He could
assume-
have weapons anywhere.
Right. They assume his phasing technology's in the suit. Sure, that's why they undress him.
Okay, wait, are you mad about it? Because I was
No, oh, no,
certainly-
no.
I was certainly not mad about it.
Zero complaints. Just want it pointed out that there seemed real no reason.
I have an issue with it.
Go
His
on.
underpants seemed very clean.
Yeah.
For a bounty hunter.
For a spaceman.
Yeah.
So because they're repeating the same day, we can assume that he woke up that day and put on new
With
ones.
clean underwear.
Yeah.
Yes. See, now all of our questions are.
Or he
completely
repeated
answered.
the whole day, and he's like, well, you know, this might happen, so I better put on fresh.
Right, I know where this is going.
Can I really talk since we're talking about wardrobe about Solara's jacket? That's just sleeves.
Yeah, I want one so bad.
They're so great. I would wear it with my tank top.
I was also going to say I'd wear it with a tank top, but my tank top sits differently.
It does very differently.
Yeah. I love the wardrobe.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'll show you all pictures later from the wardrobe department that I'm not allowed to share.
Yet.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have this great scene after we keep talking about how 5 is tougher than Adrian. We have this scene where she's attacked by a man in his undies. And she got thrown around and I got so concerned
Yeah.
for her.
I was like, come on, girl, you got something up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Why didn't she kick him in the nuts? Like, she
Right?
was at the right
He
height.
is nude. Like, kick that boy right in those
First of all,
bones.
if you think that's nude, then I need to teach you what a body looks like.
Oh, wait, there's more?
Yes.
Right.
He's sorry. Andrew's a never nude. He
I
doesn't know
see.
what
Yeah.
nude looks
Okay.
like.
So then he gets his butt beat
Thanks.
by Solara,
Right.
which was wonderful to watch.
Delightful.
I love it.
Even
Yeah.
though Natalee was like, she should have just shot him if she had a gun the whole time.
I was like,
but
what is she
then we wouldn't get this delightful fight.
I know, I did say that.
Yeah.
It was much cooler with the fight, but now you literally have the gun pulled
Yeah.
and her having to shoot it
No,
till it's blank.
well, because the gun was his.
No.
No,
he's
no,
in
she
his
told him
eye.
He took it from
She
her.
wanted to
It
fight
was
him
on
more.
Her, yeah,
Yeah.
it was on her
Yeah.
belt.
It would. She didn't want to accidentally hit 5.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
also
totally.
more satisfying for her.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Also,
She
she
was.
was aching to spar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
She
like,
has
I need
been.
to stretch these sweet, sweet fighting limbs.
Those sweet, sweet fighting.
Those sweet limbs.
Okay, so then he gets stunned into the wall, and here is my question for our Han Solo moment. We were discussing this earlier. He gets the stun gun works for 20 minutes. That is established by 2. Is he frozen there for 20 minutes, and once he wakes up, he can continue phasing through, or did they now have a dead person in their wall at all times?
Number 2.
Yeah, I think
That
it's
is
number
they definitely just deaded a guy into the wall.
2. Yeah.
Tari?
I think he's dead, mostly because this show sticks very closely to like sci-fi rules,
The network of the genre.
the
Yeah.
genre, but also the network.
Yeah.
And I feel like since his atoms are fused with the atoms of the ship, then he can't survive. It's like if you were teleporting and part of you stayed where it was and the other
Right.
part went through, like your atoms wouldn't just like reform.
Like-
You would
Yeah.
become a gelatinous mess.
Okay.
Splicing in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
And then
fine.
I was gonna call an X-Men and be like, if Nightcrawler can't see where he's going, he's gonna phase right in the middle of something and just totally die.
It's true.
Yeah, but Kitty Pryde can just phase through.
Right.
She doesn't have that problem.
Well,
I know,
this
I
guy
was
isn't
thinking
Kitty
the same
Pryde.
I was like, if we're going X-Men, let's talk about Kitty. But
I've seen her get
fine.
stuck in something.
I'm glad
before.
we
She's-
have a
yeah,
similar
she gets-
mind.
She does that.
in the X-Men too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh no, sorry. It was in X-Men 3.
Oh.
Apologies, The Last Stand.
Amy Motorhouse thinks he's dead as a doornail.
Okay.
Get it? Door.
Oh! I was gonna ask, what does that
Okay,
mean?
so-
What's a doornail?
Okay. I'm actually fine with either way. Like, one, I'm fine with him coming back because I think it would be really funny if just one day they're walking through the ship and a man in his underwear just pops out of the wall.
Just running around, terrified.
But the other thing that I'm also really okay with is the fact that they now have a dead body just in the wall.
Yes. You know what I love though is that it's not going to smell up the place because it's perfectly sealed
Yeah.
in the metal.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Ideal.
And I saw it up close and it was very detailed.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. I hope it becomes like a hat rack.
Yeah,
Like they
I
just
really
start
want them to
hanging
play
things
with
That would
it.
be so fun.
Yeah.
Or every time they walk by, they just say hi.
Or they like rub it for good luck.
Yeah.
Tari wants them to give him high fives.
I like the high five thing.
Because he's
there was a
already like
hand.
this.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Ooh, they hang their stockings on him at Christmas.
There's no Christmas in space.
Oh,
Of course there is. There's always. Christmas is every day in space.
that's true.
Okay. So the android
That's what
is
space is.
fixing our time loop device and takes a trip to the future. Here is what we see in this trip of hers. So she's alone on the bridge. 3 enters and shoots her in the face while she's watching through a monitor. We have a crying android sitting in the mess. It seems like she's got the human chip working. She's asking why she has tears, and 2 says it's an expression of grief. She wakes up on a surgery table at Electus Corp. She was captured by the Galactic Authority. They ask her about the Android Liberation Front. They tell her she is illegal tech because she has the upgrade. Then she's Android of 9. I stole that from someone on Twitter. I believe it was from Ken. That is a 7 of 9
Where's
reference.
Ken from?
Chicago, I believe.
Yes.
Old 5 is there. They're at the end of time.
Yeah,
And
the end of time.
Okay.
How do you know that? Is that just what everyone calls space now?
No, I was like, oh my god, I've seen this episode of Doctor Who and I'm so excited. I know where this is going.
Oh, it's a Doctor
real
Who
sad.
thing?
Yeah.
Explain it.
No.
The
I
end
don't,
of time.
I don't
Nope,
understand
don't.
what that is.
It was an episode. There were a few episodes that were the end of time.
No, Doctor
Yep.
Who.
Get out.
Legitimately,
Yeah, I don't get the
just like
references.
Yeah.
leave.
Oh, yes.
The worst.
Ken from Chicago also points out that the Android Liberation Front
Yep.
It's Alf.
is Alf,
Yeah.
like the
alien. Who eats
Nice.
cats. Yeah.
Good one. There's so many references. Just like, blech.
Yeah.
So good.
It was a great episode. It was so fun.
So, Future 5, Old 5 says that you're time skipping. You've been seeing glimpses of the future, and then tells her a handful of things that are going to happen.
That we're going to have to look out for.
Yeah. What? Hold on. Okay, so let me read them.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Dwarf Star's conspiracy. Dwarf Star is Dr. Will Wheaton.
Correct.
The double deception.
Yes.
Kryden, Karina. Those could be one thing, Kryden, Karina, or they could be 2 things, Kryden, Karina. The Accelerated. The Fall of the House of Ishida. That I think
poor Rio.
I think we know what that is. A Meeting with Your Creator.
Yep.
The Black Ships.
Yep.
And that it's not a happy ending for everyone, but a positive outcome for the rest of the galaxy.
And she wouldn't tell Android because Android would
Try to
try and
change it.
change it.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's probably not a good outcome for the Android.
right. Well, she becomes Android of 9.
Yes.
It's true.
So many things. Should we just, do you have thoughts before we, because I just want to spend the rest of the time.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Do we think that the person, not the person that she was kidnapped by, but the person who made this clock thing, I kind of assumed it was either her creator or the guy who literally has her and is like taking her apart.
Oh, that is her creator?
No.
Yes.
The clockmaker.
She wakes up on the surgery table.
Yes.
And so
At Electus Corp.
I wasn't sure if that was... I was kind of thinking maybe it was the guy who also created the time.
Oh, the time warp device.
Interesting.
So the Electus Corp says to her that she was captured by the Galactic Authority and that she's brought to Electus Corp because they work with them to help get information out of her that the Galactic Authority couldn't do. So I don't believe that Electus Corp made her.
Right. Okay.
That's my thought.
Oh, I knew that. I was,
Well,
maybe,
she
but
was
maybe it
saying
was
that-
like a rogue
Yeah.
employee. That would be fun. Sorry, I'm just making things up now.
No, it's good.
Go
But-
ahead.
well, then we might as.
Yes.
Any
let's-
final thoughts, or should we just jump into it?
I mean, let's talk about
jump
werewolves
into
since we're
it.
making stuff up. No, I'm
You can't
curious.
just make stuff up.
I'm curious about if you guys think that we've seen any of her predictions before, because obviously we know who the House of Ashita is. That's the only one that like is a definite. And Dwarf Star, we know who
Right.
Dwarf Star is. So, but other than that, it's all very vague. The Black Ship's very vague. Double Deception. The other thing though that I was curious about, and maybe this is this episode, do you think Ash is one of the Accelerated? That's why I was wondering if you think he is a construct or if you think that this is an addition. Is he one of the Accelerated, a person that is able to do crazy shit? Because I'd be down. I'm totally down for that. His werewolfism is
Yeah. I like where your head's at. Because, I mean, even if it's not a, like, genetic thing, it could be the Accelerated or people who've chosen to accelerate
right.
evolution. Interesting. I think we should do it then. Let's hit predictions. Because I just want to talk.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So in addition to 7, 8 maybe items that we're told about,
8.
we also have a preview for next week where Adrian's girlfriend is kidnapped, Rio is not seeing eye to eye with his team, and 5 spars with Solara and takes her down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in addition
Seemingly
to everything,
easily, yeah.
Which, I mean, they all were talking her up this episode,
Right.
Yeah.
but like, what?
She drank her own Kool-Aid and is just like, I'm the best, world's greatest, and she's just, yeah.
Well, she
should
was
we-
shocked too, I think.
Yeah, I think she
It
was
looked-
surprised.
She looked shocked
It
too.
looked like it, yeah.
Well, should we start with the list of things to come?
Yes, please.
I mean, you and I discussed the issue with the 5-season plan.
Yes. So we know that Malozzi has a 5-season plan. We're currently in season 3, and so we find it really difficult. We were talking about how we feel like it will be hard to cram a lot of what's been discussed in the 5 seasons. Like, we can't end season 5 with old 5. Because I think that would be difficult and a lot of time to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a chance that we could cover all of these things and then time jump to this point.
Sure.
Malozzi is a big anime fan. I'm not sure if that's public knowledge, but if
It is now.
If you read his blog,
Or if-
you'll know.
Or if you've
Update the
seen what
Wikipedia
he
page,
says
guys.
here.
Yeah. And the moment that we had with 5 felt very reminiscent of the end of Gurren Lagann.
I was just gonna say that.
Which I'm not
Nerd.
gonna spoil anything.
Oh, don't. I'm
But
halfway
the
through it.
main character, whomever that may be, at the end of the series, you see them watching fireworks after the events of everything that's happened, and he or she meets a kid and is like, basically the gist of the conversation is their existence is no longer needed anymore, and so the world is better off without them in it. And I feel like that is kind of where we end up in this series, in that we have 5 hanging out in the outskirts of space with the Raza, with Android, and they're no longer needed, but they've ultimately helped the galaxy for the better.
Okay. The more I thought about our discussion, the more I realized that because the fall of the House of Ashita was not the first thing, that it was further down in the line.
Yeah.
That I think this is a list of things that will happen this season, if not, this season and a little bit into next season.
There's a lot.
I know,
happening.
but we need to find out what's going on with 2, right? Which takes us to Dwarf Star's conspiracy. The double deception, I kind of feel like if we've already been deceived by someone, then which we have
Probably
by
have, yeah.
6 when he first betrayed us, and Rio, and I think we're halfway there.
Yeah.
And then, that leaves us with a few more things. So I think we can accomplish these this season. I don't think that by the end of season 5 we need to get to old 5. I think that we need to either see these things happen or see some of them happen and then realize we need to change things. Yes. You look like you had something to say.
When you say double deception, are you assuming that means two different people are deceiving? Or are you seeing it as one person who deceives twice?
I was seeing one person deceives twice,
okay.
which means it's 6 or Rio.
I was thinking the opposite. The first thing that you said, that it's 2 different people and everyone's lying to each other. And especially with this show, like that is not out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
Everyone's probably lying to each other, and that's why some sort of tragedy is going to occur, because everyone's being a garbage person.
Oh, so I had a prediction about the grief.
Yes.
Please.
In relation to the Android Liberation Front, Victor, Android's boyfriend, who is a human android,
Dies.
dies.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
my theory.
That
on
makes
that
sense.
one.
Interesting.
That's the most acceptable version of a member of the
Right,
crew
I
bot
was
dies.
not.
Yeah.
Nope. None of. Nope.
Frankly, I hope we never get to old 5. Like, I hope that everything is fixed, and we never have to have that.
Yes.
She never has to be alone.
I have another question.
Yeah. Ask away. You don't have to raise your hand.
It's so easy to do that. With, so Android went into the future. Mm-hmm. So it's not like anything that it's not in the past, like when he could do whatever he wanted. Now, do all of these things have to happen? And will she just like wake up on the table or like black out on the table because it's like her past self
Right.
coming back to the table and having this situation happen?
Time travel questions.
Yeah,
These are great
I
time
really
travel
like
questions. So
time
you were
travel.
asking why the device was still intact.
Yes.
And my thought
too.
was because she hadn't pulled at the wires. So that she hadn't gone in scene 5 to tell her to pull out the wires, which meant that they were stuck in the loop. And this was the solution.
I disagree, though.
Okay.
Because I feel like it would have had to have been restored in that she says that she knows that Android does it, and also she knew that Android would come to this point because of the time loop, which means that it's already happened. They've already gone through those processes. And so, essentially, the Android would have... Yes, it would have already had to have been destroyed for them to have gotten to that point.
So then the reason it's been restored was 5 says to her, I found a way to send you back to that point. So 5 restored it to send Android back to the point where she left, yes?
But didn't.
What? No.
So old
It's just
5...
been restored.
Right, but it's been restored and figured out how to use it.
Properly.
Okay.
Because we needed to send Android back to where she left.
I don't feel like it was used to send Android back to where she left.
She didn't
But she
touch
hands it to her.
Yeah.
Right. She just goes, this is what you need to...
But 5 says to her, I'm gonna send you back to where you...
Wait.
How
but
did she do it?
She
5
says you
does
have
touch it, right?
2 minutes left
Right.
before you jump again.
Yes, and she would have kept jumping.
To
Not
different
necessarily
locations
back
with-
to, yeah.
You guys, is 5 a crazy scientist who built the android? And this is how we're finding out? Because
That'd
she
be
just doesn't know?
Amazing.
Well, that would make her statement, we meet your creator, real weird.
A meeting with your creator.
Yeah.
That was the statement. A meeting with
A meeting with your creator. Now
Which-
it's not weird. Now it's creepy and obtuse.
Yeah, I really like the idea of, that's a really nice
That
theory.
is a good idea. 'cause-
That-
And also, she's a werewolf. No, I'm just kidding.
no, okay, well, isn't
No,
it...
Ash is the werewolf, but he's stuck in a wall.
Right. He's a werewolf.
He's a wall.
They're much less terrifying.
Yeah.
Last season, didn't we find out, like, when they were in the prison, people were after 5 specifically, right?
Yes, we had...
Did we ever find out exactly why?
Renault. Was she Renault?
Yeah, but did we ever find
Not
out?
No.
Truffaut? Renault.
Oh,
Oh, was that her real
don't
name?
speak-
Yes.
Afa?
Yes. We were calling her a name from a different show, but it was corrected that she was Alicia Renault.
got it.
Okay, so her, like, did we ever
She's-
find out exactly why she was after 5?
No, but we think that it might have something to do with maybe her sister.
Oh,
Now that we
right,
hear she has a
okay.
sister. Guys, time travel is so confusing.
Confusing.
It really is. I have 2 predictions
Yes.
from...
Perfect.
Please.
From the chat, Starman934 says the fall of Ishida will probably happen at the end of the season.
Agreed.
Kind of like what you guys were saying. Ken from Chicago, is more talking about. He says specifically, remember the butterfly effect? Slight changes can have greater effect over time. So essentially, he's saying that what we saw is not solidified. Like it's not predestined to happen. In the same way that 3 had a different outcome every time he had a different day.
Sure.
I love that he didn't think to try different things.
Yeah, for a long time. Like he was just doing the
like,
exact same
they're
thing.
like-
Like, it's broken. This world's broken.
Yeah, but 3 is known for his instinctual responses.
His stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just thought it was very interesting. I liked it a lot.
I have something I wanted to ask you guys. So
Sure.
we kind of touched upon the idea that the world's going to be made that these guys aren't good enough to exist in. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like that they're trying to make a world that they are not allowed to be a part of. Does that make sense? I don't like that. I really don't like that because there's talk a little bit in the chat about about that idea, and I just feel like if the show is kind of like a spiritual successor, or at least like a friend show to like Serenity or Firefly shows, where we also have like the misfits like who can't really succeed, but they succeed because of love and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I hope in my little heart of hearts that is what the point is, that we will be like, oh well, yeah, of course, the corporations of course are gonna like kill all your friends, but like you guys like have love and a family, and like that's what is gonna be successful ultimately in the universe. Or they're just gonna like, and I feel like that old 5 was them being like, none of that's true. Everyone dies. It's real sad.
Well, so essentially that idea brings up the kind of one of the age-old ideas of soldiers fighting to create a world that they can't exist in. Soldiers are fighting this war, which now we're in a war, so that they can they can create this world where they don't have to fight anymore. But like soldiers essentially are bred to fight, and so like once peace has come, there's no need for them, and they don't have a place in the world, which either destroys them or allows them to go off and do their own thing. And so it seems like, from the events that we've seen, that overall it allowed or forced 5 and Android to go off and have to like live outside of society, whether it's because they both become too powerful or something to that effect. But it also had the effect of destroying the team.
Right.
We don't know if they're dead. We just know that they're
the team
gone.
is, I mean, they could have all gone the way of 6, and everyone has their own planet that they're just loving and in charge of, and now it's like everyone's doing fine. But like the team is dead, and to me that's like way sadder, almost.
That they're
But
all
maybe
fine
not.
without each other?
Yeah. Because then we need another episode where they're not fine without each other, and they all come back and they hug. That's
I
it.
see.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
That's the whole
I
episode.
think
You have some sadness.
No,
Yeah, I know.
there's just like there's something
they
really.
just can't leave each other.
Well, I mean, what do you think the point of the show is? Don't you think the point of the show is that family and love and like this group of ragtag misfits can like come together and like conquer anything? Don't you think that's kind of the point?
I mean, that's definitely a theme, and it's a good theme, but I think this is suggesting that you can do all this good in the world, but at some point your methods of dealing with it might become outdated, and you need to step back. And if you want to go with Legend of Korra, it's gotta let the kids take care of it.
For sure.
But you want to leave the world in a better place before you leave it, essentially.
This is the most adorable, like, philosophical conversation.
I mean, but it's important, right? Because
It
it's
is.
like.
Unfortunately, we don't have all the time in the
No, we
world.
don't.
And we're running out of time. So any final predictions before we move on?
I have 2 predictions.
Yes.
One, the 3 that we see shoot Android is the alternate universe 3.
Oh.
So that was both alternate universe 3 and 2 that were in the monitors. And my second prediction is that the black ships are carrying the black goo that we've come encounter with
Ooh,
before.
nice.
Yeah.
I just
Great
assumed
predictions.
pirate
Nice.
ships when I heard black ships. I was like, ooh, pirate ships. I like
Well,
it.
I assumed actually, going off of sort of what you said, I was
Yeah.
actually assuming the black ships were the alternate universe ships, and that we would get multiple alternate universe ships, and we would have a giant like fleet of Razas against our Raza, and that would be real cool.
Interesting.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
I really like you bringing back the black goo, especially because 3 was like, I had a creature inside me with an alternate universe us. Is this really so surprising?
I love that line so much.
Because he needed to remind them, and the best was Solara's faces, when she was like, what?
Yeah.
Why are
they
we
had
on the
nodded.
ship?
And Adrian too was just like, what? How are you guys alive?
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Until next week, Tauri, where can people find you and the Anders Lives shirts?
You can find me at Tauri J. It's TauriJay. And you can also find the Anders Lives shirts on One True Tees, our Redbubble t-shirt selling website.
So it's www.redbubble.com/people/OTTs, OTTEES.
Yes.
And I believe the Anders shirts are limited time.
Depending on how long Anders lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the shirts are available now, but who knows what happens.
amazing.
That's
Amazing
one
deadline.
That's OTT's your OTP.
Aww. I'm Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena or on Instagram at the Andrew Mena. If you guys like podcasts about D&D and goofy people being goofy, me and this Natalee person here are on a D&D podcast that you can find on SoundCloud and Twitter at Dungeon Hole. DungeonHole. Dungeon hole. The hardest word in that sentence is hole. Definitely.
Definitely.
Natalee!
Natalee Dyer, you can follow me at NATALEEDYER on all social medias. I'm on the podcast, which is real fun. Definitely check it out, because I got powers. It's
true. It's true.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. I'm also here on AfterBuzz doing the ABTV Sci-Fi Summers. That starts with Winona Earp, Dark Matter, and starting next week, Killjoys. Plus, if you are a Winona Earp fan, check out OTTs for the Winona Earp shirts as well. It's redbubble.com/people/OTTs. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.